When shooting video on your smartphone and you want the film look and you're filming in daylight, there's simply no other option. You need one of these, an ND filter. A company called PolarPro sent me this filter system for the iPhone 12 Pro Max to try out. It's a case, a grip, a Bluetooth shutter button, and a variable ND filter. So let's see if this can solve our overexposure problem. ND stands for neutral density. If you don't know what a neutral density filter is, the simplest explanation is that they're like sunglasses for your camera. A percentage of the light is filtered out and so prevented from hitting the camera sensor. They come in different strengths, but this one is a variable ND filter, and that means you can adjust the strength of the filter to suit the light conditions. Without a variable ND filter, you need to have a set of ND filters of different strengths. Obviously, that would be less convenient, as you have to carry around lots of filters, and you'd have to stop to change the filter each time the light changes, or you frame a different shot. So this is what they call the LightChaser Pro filter system. There's different items which you can put together to create your setup. First, the case clips on pretty much like other cases. This is quite a solid, sturdy case, and it's got a soft felt backing to protect your iPhone. There's a grip which clips into the case at various points and turns your phone into more of a traditional camera shape. Now you can grip your iPhone more securely. But it's not just a grip. There's also this Bluetooth trigger which mounts onto the grip with a button at the top. Use this key to fix it securely in place. The grip part of the kit also houses the 1/4 inch thread for mounting to a tripod. Finally, they have sent me a 3 to 5 stop variable ND filter. It comes in a nice hard case with a rubber lens cover as well, so it's pretty nicely constructed compared to some of the cheaper filters for smartphones. The 3 to 5 stop part means it reduces the light by 3 to 5 stops. A stop is a photography term where one stop is double or half the strength of the next stop along. So 4 stops cuts the light by twice as much as 3 stops. And this is why you see ND filters with different numbers, such as 4, 16, 32. In this case, 5 stops equals 32, and I suspect that's not quite enough to enable you to reduce your shutter speed to the 1/50th or 1/48th in bright daylight. The LightChaser Pro Kit comes with very little plastic packaging, which is great, just biodegradable cardboard boxes, so it's nice to see a company thinking about the environment. Also, each item comes with a little cardboard guide with clear instructions. Again, a nice touch. To attach the grip to the case, you press down to open the jaws of the grip. Then it sits in the notches, which means you can place it at different points on the case and it won't move around. So if you just want to use it to mount to a tripod, you'd probably use the middle notch. Well, let's try it out. I'm going to use Filmmaker Pro, which enables me to control exposure manually. Because without a third-party app like this, you can't control your iPhone's shutter speed or ISO exactly. Actually, even in the native app, you can kind of control it using one of these filters, but we'll talk about that later. To connect the Bluetooth trigger, you need to switch it on, and then you get a green flashing light. Now go into your iPhone Bluetooth settings and look for the switch. Tap and then OK when it asks if you want to pair the trigger to your phone. Now it will trigger your native camera app shutter control to shoot stills or videos, or you can use it with an app like Filmmaker Pro as well. I noticed that if the trigger disconnects, a second press on the button usually connects it again. When I took the LightChaser Pro out for a spin, the sky was partly overcast, which means there's less light than there would be on a bright sunny day. A slow shutter speed is necessary for motion blur, which gives you that kind of smooth film look. Some people like to observe the double your frame rate rule to the letter. It's not really necessary to be that strict, in my opinion. So my rule to follow is the faster your shutter speed, the harsher looking your video will appear. Perhaps not quite as catchy, but in my opinion, more accurate. The biggest problem when filming in daylight is blown out skies. So with this 3 to 5 stop VND, you can see the sky still blows out when the shutter speed is 1/48th. You can adjust the variable ND from 3 to 5 stops simply by rotating it. As I increase the shutter speed, you can see areas of the sky filling in. Finally, the sky is filled in completely and there are no more blown out white patches. I think we can agree the sky looks nicer when those patches are gone. So now it's a question of what's more important, slow shutter speed or removing the white patches. For bright daylight, we really need a 6 to 9 stop variable ND filter. But this 3 to 5 stop filter still does a job. This is what it looks like when I remove the filter. The frame is much more blown out. What I like about this is that everything is very easy to use. The filter can be removed and mounted very quickly. The grip comes on and off with a simple press. Even the rubber lens cap comes on and off pretty easily. It's all nicely built as well. It doesn't feel too cheap. You can use the 1/4 inch threads to mount the grip to a tripod, but I also tried attaching it to my monopod to get some low and high shots. This time I used the native camera and set it to 60 frames per second, then slowed it to 40 frames per second on a 24 frames per second timeline as usual. While I was doing that, I saw this beautiful effect of the light reflecting off the water and onto the leaves, so I tried to use that in a couple of shots as well. Another great thing about this system is that the filter covers all 3 lenses, so you can switch between the lenses without having to move the filter. Now you don't have to use an ND filter with a camera app like Filmmaker. In bright conditions, the native app will push the ISO down to its lowest setting. Adding an ND filter will then force it to slow the shutter speed. So even with the iPhone's native camera, using an ND filter will actually add more motion blur to the video. On the PolarPro website, it says the grip is compatible with the Moment M series lenses. There's a mounting plate for bayonet mount lenses. This is actually made of metal, so it's pretty sturdy. Now, however, when I tried to mount my Moment anamorphic, I found it did not mount 100% correctly. With an anamorphic lens, it should be level, but as you can see, it isn't quite level, and the lens will not turn any further than that. With the 58mm telephoto or a wide lens, it will be okay because it's circular, and circular lens does not have to have a specific orientation. So that's a bit of an annoying flaw, I would say. When you purchase the LightChaser Pro kit on the PolarPro website, you get the option to select different filters. There's a polarizing filter option and diffusion filter, but I couldn't see a 6 to 9 variable ND option. But you could use a Moment filter mount on the case and then use a stronger ND filter. Unfortunately, that would mean the filter would only cover one lens at a time though. But it is an option at least. If you select the filmmaking kit or director's kit, the polarizing filter is added free, but if you choose to create your own custom package, the polarizing filter is grayed out and you can't select it. So not sure why that is. There's also 3 different case colors to choose from. At the moment, this kit is available for iPhone 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, iPhone 11, 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max, as well as Samsung's S20 Ultra. So what do you think of this kit? Is that something that you would be interested in using? Do you have one yourself? What are your thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments. I'd be interested to know if your experience of it is the same as mine. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just another big thank you again to all the members on our Patreon. And I look forward to chatting to members there, and I'll see you in the next video.